Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. All right.
What have you seen when the first team defense has been out there in these games? What have you seen from them?
Well, we've seen the effort, the enthusiasm, the energy that's necessary. The execution has gotten much better. Obviously, again, the level of communication and things of that nature, the things that you typically take for granted, that may be missed in the OTA phases and early on in camps and things like that. That's where you really look for the improvement. Is right in there. Obviously, again, bending, not breaking, really played well. Again, not allowing teams to score touchdowns. I mean, that's always first and foremost. And then, and again, an escalation in the level of execution. They'll start it off early on, a few third downs, missed opportunities here and there, and then later on, again, you start to see the improvement.
You mentioned the word communication. Just how special is what you have in the back end with three guys who have been playing together since yeah.
Yeah, moving on to the nonverbal kind of, if they're all on the same page, seeing the same thing, and then that's when less verbal communication is necessary. It's more of a look and a nod kind of deal. So it's pretty cool. Again, I said we have veterans now, and guys who have been playing here for years. All four of our starters right now have been playing here since 2012. So.
With Earl in particular, just what have you seen from him coming back from this injury?
It's a revived Earl Thomas. I said not as if he's ever taken this game for granted, but you can just see a guy just sort of relieved to be back out there playing football again, doing what he loves to do.
What have you seen between Jeremy Lane and Shaq Griffin going that first five? The battles that they've had.
Yeah, it's been really cool. It's been really cool to watch. In particular, Shaq grow. And obviously, Jeremy has missed a little bit of time with some injuries, but Jeremy's Jeremy. He's doing a fantastic job. He's a tough cover. He's going to make it hard on opponents to catch the football. Then obviously, again, we put him inside in the slot, and he knows exactly. Thank you. And he knows exactly what's necessary in order to get the job done. Again, Shaq has grown by leaps and bounds. He's done a really good job for us. First and foremost, he's been superb on the deep ball. He has not allowed one to be caught on him in the game. Obviously, again, the work in progress is there. I love his poise. He has an awesome nature about him, a humble nature about him, to where he's not shook out there. So I think the Minnesota game was a real good game for him, how they came after him early. I mean, he stood up. He stood up to the challenge. They threw some snap routes on him, tried to throw some deep balls on him, and they came back and tried to challenge him again a little later in the game, and he stood up and got some PBUs. So it's been really good to watch him.
Chris, what are your thoughts on all these guys going through this Virginia-kind treatment?
Say that again?
What are your thoughts on all these guys going and getting the same type of treatment and coming back? Obviously, the results have been positive so far. The feedback's been positive.
Sure. Well, that's what we call a relentless pursuit of a competitive edge. Yeah, right. So there it is, man. It's a part of the program. Guys are trying to find the cutting edge in technology and essentially whatever it's going to take under the letter of the law in order to keep yourself as fresh as possible, so you can play and be productive as long as possible. So it's legit. It helps guys. It makes them feel better. So yeah, go ahead and get that and let's ball.
What have you been able to learn from DJ Alexander? He hasn't been able to be out here all that long for you, but what do you know about him? What do you hope to see from him?
Well, what we know is what we've seen from his production at Kansas City. I mean, he is a run and hit, tenacious defender. Again, special teams, he's active, a real competitive guy. We haven't been able to see much, that's obvious, of him being out here for us. But really, we're just hoping to see a guy just grasp the idea, the defense, just kind of grasp what's necessary in order for us to be successful. Get to your spots on the field, again, cover your guys, and run and hit, which we know he knows how to do that.
For young guys battling for roster spots potentially, how important is this game for them to show what they can do but not maybe go overboard and not do too much?
That's what's most important, is as critical as the game may be, all of them are critical. Every game that you've ever played your whole entire life is critical, because it's the only one you're playing, really. That's the psychology behind it. The truth of the matter, as long as those guys go out there, do what they're coached to do, again, and don't make stuff up, they'll be okay.
What do you remember from the preseason finale when those jobs are on the line?
Wow, I just, as a coaching or as a player, yeah, it's just, really, it's just enjoying the moment. You know, you can't make it bigger than what it is because all of the other decisions that come after the game are out of your control anyway. So all you can do is go out there and be at your best is really what it comes down to. So it's doing everything possible to make sure you're at your best and then going out there and performing and let the chips fall where they may.
What has David Bass and Marcus Smith given you as that pass rusher on the edge? What have you been able to learn about them in this game?
Yeah, Bass has done a tremendous job. He's been tough. He's been reliable, and he's got the ability to play in and Leo for us. And I think he's really created some tremendous value for us. He's a guy who does things right consistently, and really that's what produces successful players right there. Is guys who are going to do things right consistently. Marcus, I think he's a really good athlete. Again, he got a little banged up early on. And we had to get him up to speed with our tempo and how we practice and how we do things. But I think what he's done is he's shown and flashed a fantastic athlete out there. Again, he's a guy that again we wanted to stand him up, play him at linebacker. Again, he can do that. He can put his hand in the ground, play some in and Leo for us outside on the edges. So I think he's going to bring another guy in the light of Bass who's going to be consistent. He's going to do things right, and he's going to have the athletic ability that we need to rush the passer on the outside.
We've seen Naj Jones multiple positions go out on the line. What looks like your plan B is going to be without McDowell being in that role?
Yeah, sure. I think he can fit that. Again, David Bass is a guy who can fit that role. Again, he can play multiple positions for us. Again, David Bass can rush inside for us on third down. Nas, he's a guy who, again, we want to be able, again, it's, of course, in light of realizing, and he's a young guy, but I think he's got the mind, he's got the brain to be able to handle multiple positions. Obviously, we want to be able to, again, get him locked down and focused in on maybe one or two, and then as we get later on in the season, maybe get a third position out of him. But right now, again, it's interior for him. We want him to play some three technique. We want him to play some nose, and we want him to be, again, a guy who's going to push the pocket on third down and get 6'5". So again, get those arms up, get in the quarterback's face, and let's get some tip balls.
That's a plus, the height. But how much of a challenge is it with a three technique guy without the leverage, maybe as guards and centers who are shorter?
Well, he's got power. And as I said, it's pad level. It's all it's ever going to come down to, whether it's defending the run or getting after the quarterback in pass rush. It's going to be pad level. Are we going to be low? Are we going to get off on the football? And again, do you have power? But he's a guy who certainly has power.
What have you seen out of Pierre this year and what he's done in the preseason?
Yeah, I think he's shown himself well. He's shown true consistency within the technique. He's got a tremendous coverage ability. And really, he's got a great, fantastic attitude. He's done everything that we've asked of him. And as I said, he shows up in the big moments. Again, rarely ever out of position, which has been a really good sign. Again, if you are where you're supposed to be, 9 times out of 10, good things will happen.
Does his experience show up? Having played in the league a little bit?
I think it does. And that's the poise. He's rarely ever panicked or anything of that nature. Somebody catches a ball, whatever, next play. But again, he's shown himself. I think the value, right, is are we stopping guys from throwing the ball over our heads? And yes, he has. He's done that.
Does Frank look like he's taken his game to another level this preseason, and are you concerned at all about if he'll be ready for you?
No, not concerned. Would think he will be ready. As far as taking his game up, I think he not necessarily in that level, but he's shown the consistency, kind of just getting better every day. I wouldn't necessarily say it's another level, but I will say it's just true to who he is. He's a tremendous competitor, a fantastic talent. Again, we know, again, his explosive nature and his ability, it just shows. And I said we just have to make sure, again, we do everything that we can to keep him available.
Hey, these blood treatments the players are getting, is that what the team's blessing that these guys are going down there doing that?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Would you prefer it, though, at a different time, like in the off-season, or is it just a matter of, why is it now?
Well, I think it's just a matter of time. And again, where's the value of the injections or whatever the procedure may be at a particular time? Is it going to be beneficial for it now or in the offseason? So if it's going to be beneficial now, again, we have some veteran guys that are down there getting those things done. We know these guys know how to play football. We know they know our system. Again, guys that we know we can count on. Okay, now we understand. Obviously, again, if it was just a group of guys that we have no clue about, well, yes, that'll certainly be a problem.
So you think we're going to start seeing more and more of this?
I don't know. I really don't know. I know my ankle and my knees bothering me, so I might have to take a week and head down there myself.
When it comes to making those final cuts, how much is their contribution on special teams factor
I think that's invaluable. You can't speak for it enough, and a lot of times the deciding factor is whether or not you're a contributor on special teams. And that's what makes the selections and the choices hard. You know, like guys may come out there, they may do a great job offensively, may do a great job defensively, but if there's less value for them on special teams, then other guys will get the nod. So that is without a doubt. If you are not a concrete sort of starter or veteran player, special teams, it better be in your forte.
Anything else, guys? Thanks, folks.
All right, thank you guys.